LGBTQ 1 Minute News, let's queer up health. The movement to save the queer community from meth with magic mushrooms. For decades, psychedelics such as psilocybin, the psychoactive ingredient in magic mushrooms, LSD, mescaline, peyote, and DMT, what is that again? Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Have been studied as promising treatments for alcoholism, PTSD, depression, anxiety, and more. With the rise of meth abuse in the queer community, some are calling for more studies on treatment stimulants via psychedelics. Therapist Dr. Dallas Bragg has discussed using these substances in his own struggles with meth use, saying, quote, "I felt connected to others, connected to earth. There was a connection and an interdependence with nature that I never knew existed. It wasn't about recovery anymore. It was just about healing. Meth fell away naturally because it just wasn't part of that," end quote. You know, some of this is very interesting to me. I know there's a lot of studies done with like ketamine and things like that of how they're doing that to treat a lot of and I just think there's still more studies to be done.
Yes.
But I like the idea of seeing that they're looking at different ways versus maybe something that could be so dependent. You know, someone becomes dependent on something else.
No, I get it. Listen, as someone who's in recovery, I wouldn't even think about doing something like this because I would not, like you said, stop doing one mind-altering substance to pick up another.
Right.
I just wouldn't, right? But understand that the story that Vaughn is saying, it's, you know, you're being walked by a professional, right? And they're microdosing this. It's not like you're going to the drug dealer and going, hey, give me my mescaline from last week. You know, it doesn't work that way, you know? So like Vaughn said, a lot more studies need to happen. I've lost too many people to meth. I have too many friends still struggling with meth right now. So if this helps them, F it. Let's try it. Let's get more of it. Let's figure it out, but done correctly.
Right.
Yeah, I am so not a doctor, and I'm so glad that people are finally having doctors study things. And when you don't know, this is an example of why you don't have crazy people run HHS, because you never know. But like, you know,
yeah, we have RFK.
Yeah.
I know, but like, it's great to see people studying addiction more, because 12-step programs do not have a great success rate, and there is clearly signs that we need to do more on what sort of medications can assist people with dealing with, whether it be substance abuse is the root cause or it's a form of self-medicating. However it's dealt with, it's just great to see more research on it.
I mean, they're even using Manjaro now to help people, you know? They're finding that it could help with some kind of addiction, you know? So, I mean, they are delving into it. Addiction has killed people for so long, and it just depends on what, right? Too much of anything is a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're using it recreationally and, you know, and if, you know, you're experimenting, it's two different things. You know, if it's regulated and it's medical needed, you know, then that could be a good case for it. But yeah, a lot of people are using it recreationally, so definitely it tends to be, you know, addictive in that way. And I think a lot of people fall into that, and then they don't see that they're in that, you know, space.
Right.
Yeah. Close yourself out, Bon.
That is an LGBTQ 1 Minute news story. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.